Dust particles glimmer in a world of darkness. A sound creaking as the world is bred anew. Light. And there was a light. And two young girls. Wide-eyed, a girl looks on, but fear or wonder, there is no sign on her face. The white of her eyes is tough to see, because some things even the viewer should never know. The dark you've wandered over, see at last. A spider crawls, but there is no end in sight. Thud! The camera flashes violently, the two girls look on. Though you see not a face, their hearts are made known. Music tells its hand, and non-rhythmic hellishness begins to play, begging the story to end.
Why do you run?
The top of the steps has good lighting. Her face is not illuminated by the flicker and waver of the candle at her fingertips, but instead her face painted blood red and orange, an omen of what is to come, for the weaker stories play off darkness. But this true tale of horror can show its nightmares with any hue or tint. Kechach. That word is accented as she says it, in allusion to a long, troubled past. We have a choice, she says in a more common tongue, alike you and I. The light of the candle shows the less in this frame, tinting no longer the former, for neither girl is alone, nor should either bear the brunt of a color, so as to indicate their bond broken, or separation. I do. You don't. Kechach says, out of breath. She's not shaking. Neither does she tremble. But why does she speak as she does? Where is the light of her voice? And for what reason did she come to this hour? To descend into the catacombs of hell? I have to know what Miyune's doing, she says, voice restored in between that moment separating I do, and I have to know what Miyune's doing. There's an aura to the second girl, not determination, per se, neither a glimmer of weakness alike from Kechach, but firm grounding. Steady, reliable. And this is not speaking from what we see, for her face is rather blank. Alike was Kechach's before, but her tone tells it all. Alike a parent speaking to instill to their child. Her words wave along slowly. Exactly. So let's make this quick. Stay frosty. The descent begins. There was calm before, and even at the onset of the dark showing itself, there was a calm and silence. In the slow creak of an opening door, in the glimmers of light. But now horror breeds with excellence. At last we hit all the senses at once. Breathing and footsteps all echo, flickering lights bleed, the sudden mixed blend of sights and sounds speeds the heartbeats of all who bear witness, and in sync is a tale for the eyes. The darkness engulfing around Kechach and the nameless girl. A soft light ringing once they came, fading, dying with every step. All these hit the viewer at once, so that they no longer know what to focus on, and adjust when, perhaps, they pick something of which they might do focus. Keha stops. The flicker alone meets the ear, and the up-close shot brings an air of comfort to the viewer, the flame of the candle near, and so the shot is rather well lit, all things considered. As Keha considers the flame of a woman, a face with soft opacity alights above her as if a ghost, the eyes of the face mixing between soft and angelic, and dark and blacked out. The smile 1 second beautiful, the next full of death and blood. What the hell have we gotten into? There's a moment of silence. The face leaves. Nothing more than the flicker of a candle. Nothing more than the motionlessness of Keha. For that moment, no longer we worry over the corridor she finds herself descending. The viewer wonders, what the hell have we gotten into? And what really are the stakes? As we give the viewer this moment, yet begins the motion of our second lead, a footstep. The shot shifts to her at the end of a motion, free hand reaching back. We caught her mid something. A soft fumbling of a sound. What is she reaching for? What could help them now? Or rather yet, what does her reaching indicate? For why does she do so now? The candle flickers. Darkness swirls. We hear a soft breath from the girl. And then the shot changes. Each their challenges. 1 frame for each. We're reminded of the bond these two hold. And so we see them together. And the challenge they tackle alone. And first is what may go under the viewer's notice. I see the bottom, Keha says, words drifting off, echoing very, very faintly. The cunning of the two speaks for itself as the second girl's words ring sharply. That's unfortunate. What do they know? What else have they endured before? Whatever the case, the sharpness of words gives strength. They may be young. Who may begin to guess what demon or ghoul lays ahead? But strength is given in those 2 words. That's unfortunate. And we know now that these two have a power in themselves. But what power? What strength to war against the dark? We see the flicker of a light held firm to a wall, so as to imply, so this does, that we are now at the bottom, where the 2 young ladies so dare to go. But all the same, we hear their words from the bottom, as though we were still with them. Think about that light, she tells Keha. The same firm strength, reigning in the second girl's voice, that we've seen before. Yeah, Keha says under her breath. Whoever lit it can't be far off. We hear their words from the bottom, as though we were still with them. A non-distinct, soft, oddly soft, metallic sound hits our ears, as though a slow,
Why are you so eager to die?
1 breath. We hear their words from the bottom, as though we were still with them. But this breath is no longer of them, this sound no longer of up high. This breath is sharp, dark, twisted. One sharp breath, two that blend together as though impatient. As though hearts so erratic in madness that even to breathe could no longer be done without haste. For sin brings impatience. The screen flickers. The screen shakes. Blackness. Utter blackness. Utter darkness. And one last breath. Don't talk. Come down to the bottom.